We're sending. It's going live. We're going to do it. Just write a couple of things down here. Taking some notes. Just writing some stuff down. It's good. It's going to be good. Uh-oh. We got a live chat going. Let's see here. All right. Here it is. Oh, is it working? The stream looks like it's on, but I don't know if it's running. Is it running? Oh, there you go. The stream's up. It's running. Nice. All right. Just some testing and stuff going on, so sorry about that. Let's see here. Where are we at? Welcome, everybody. Today is Saturday. It's late. We have a blizzard warning issued for the next couple of hours, or next couple of days, I think. And my name's Tim. This is the Corvus Cast, and we're gonna get this thing started. So, wanted to talk to everybody about all the stuff that's been happening and transpiring. You might notice the quality of the camera has gotten a lot better. I picked up a 4K, really nice camera, so you can see how old I'm getting, and all the gray in my beard now. No longer just in and out of clarity there. I'm hoping that my chat is working. Yeah, there we go. Everything's going. It's going. It's going good. There we go. Whoops. And that. Yeah. Okay. I got things set up. If you guys want to chat me up, I guess this is a good enough time to hit the plug. The Discord, Corvus Saber Foundry's Roost Discord is open. It has been open. If you want an invite, let me know. You shoot me a message in any of the places that my socials are active, and I'll get you an invite over to the Discord. It's where we talk about all the cool things. This is as good a time as any as to hit the plug. But basically, if you want to learn about like new design items, like new things that are up for design, you want to add inputs on designs, you want to do any of that stuff, come over, hit the dev channel, devs and new releases, and hit me up. And also, while we're live in the cast, it's a lot easier, I think, to connect with me down in the Corvus Cast stream channel. It's all the way at the very bottom, and it is dedicated for this chat channel. It's better than the live YouTube chat because the YouTube chat has a tendency to just not show you that when you're in, like, after you get done with the video. It only shows it for the live. And so if you want to see your stuff, or you want to see more conversation, or you want me to follow up with something, drop it in the Corvus Cast stream channel and we'll talk about it. I'm sorry if it feels a little like disconnected or crazy for this chat. Like, first of all, I'm late by almost an hour, so I apologize to everybody who wanted to watch this earlier or maybe didn't know about it. I didn't put anything out on it. It's been crazy the last couple of days. I've been having maintenance done on my truck, so getting that taken care of has been kind of a struggle, and it's just been a royal pain in the butt getting it finalized. So that has been completed. I didn't get that wrapped up until like 6 or 7 o'clock tonight, and so I had to scramble home and get dinner put together and a couple other things, and it just was not looking good. Even tonight, the cast feels kind of like off or whatever. So hopefully the changes in production value with the camera and all the other stuff that we're going to talk about here, there's not really a lot of change in production value. Really, honestly, the cast has been struggling for content. I just kind of fall back in the same routine, and that kind of sucks because I would really like it to be a lot more interesting, but really this is an opportunity for me to give you kind of like a second date update for people that are new and coming to the channel, and then for people that want to find out about what's in dev. It's just kind of a way for me to relate to you guys, to keep chatting and keep the conversation going through all the different channels that we've got. So again, welcome. This is the Corvus Cast. My name's Tim, the owner operator of Corvus Saber Foundry, and we're just gonna walk through some stuff tonight. So first big thing is within the next week we're going to be launching 2 new parts. I don't want to say 2 new parts. Technically, it's like two component schema kits. Sorry, I stumbled on that. 2 component schema kits that are launched. I had a couple of contributions between January and like recently that gave us a brand new set of parts to show. So I think one from Eidolon and another one from RoboFrets. And then if you are listening in Corey, I failed this last week trying to get your whole Saber broken apart. Again, I don't really have a great mechanism to do entire lightsabers yet, and I still need to work on what that is. And like I said, it's just been a little bit crazy the last couple of weeks getting stuff kind of ironed out. And I may have shot myself in the foot by doing this and offering this component schema kit thing on an every 2 week or on an every month cycle opposite the parts releases. So I may have to tone it down a little bit. I don't know. It's been crazy. And like as soon as I implemented something cool and new like this, like life went ballistic on me and just really messed me up. So I'm gonna try and keep at it, keep it going, and see where that gets to, and we'll go from there. So 2 new component schema kits coming out next week. I'll be finishing up all the details on that in the next couple of days, and they should be posted by Wednesday, probably next week. And then the spring sale. So in the first year or so of doing this, I realized that I was kind of beating you guys up with sales all the time, and so it seemed like it was going to be detrimental to me to not run sales for the second year, but I basically toned it down to basically like 2, I'm sorry, no, not 2, 3, between 3 and 5 like big sales for the year. And so it runs usually for like 2 to 3 weeks. I have like a 10% off sale in spring. So like at the spring holiday, so the 21st of March-ish is going to be one sale, and then the June 21st territory is another sale, and then again towards the end of the year in September, and then there's probably a Black Friday sale, and then like a May 4th sale in there too. So there's a couple of months of like flux where there's a little like some extra sales, but I try to limit it to like 4 or 5 sales, maybe 6 sales on the year. So I'm not just like beating you guys up constantly for money. It's funny I say that. I just feel like there are so many sales going with a lot of these different vendors that it ends up creating a lot of like it wears you down, right? It's like sale fatigue. And so, really ideally, keeping it to a limited number of sales that are high hitting or hard hitting. About 10% is the most I usually let go, sometimes 12 or 13%, which would be really good for Friday the 13th, but I missed it. I was busy. But still, trying to keep those numbers of sales to a minimum and give you guys the opportunity to make up those sales through other places. So like if you didn't know this or you weren't paying attention or weren't aware, hey John, thanks for coming. I appreciate you. If you weren't aware, there's a rewards program on the website. It's called Crow Cash, and so down on the bottom right-hand side of your screen, you can get access to all of your tokens. Every time you make a purchase, every time you buy something from the store, it logs how much money that you spent, and you get points. I think it's a point for $1, roughly. And so you can redeem those in different variations of points to get different sized discounts on there, if there weren't already discounts. And so active discounts that are on the website, the ones that are already there, because Alloy serves VHC and gives it more capability. If you buy one male part and you buy one female part, and you put those two together, all of those parts get that particular combination of parts gets a 10% discount. It's called the VHC combo. It's supposed to be like a combo breaker kind of thing. And so you do the VHC combo and you get yourself 10% discount. And if you keep buying combinations of those parts, the idea behind that discount was to keep it competitive and keep it in line, like to keep the cost of the parts in line. If you were expecting to buy a VHC part that was VHC shaped, so which is male-female formatted, and you bought 2 of those parts, it would give you an opportunity to buy it with a little bit of a discount. Because I know that my parts aren't like the cheapest; they're not super cheap, but they are competitive with what the market has right now. So, that discount, and there are various other discounts that are floating around if you buy parts in kits. Kits, with the exception, the only kit that's not discounted is the MPP kit. And that's the reason why is that kit is particularly expensive, or was really expensive to manufacture, and so the MPPM kits are not discounted yet. They will be eventually, but probably not until we get about halfway through the stock in that, just because they were so expensive, and I gotta come back to even a little bit before I discount that stuff. And so. Yes, lots of things happening, lots of discounts happening. If you think that you're supposed to get a discount, there very well could be a reason why, like you either cart has already been discounted or something else. I don't know. But generally speaking, if you use your Crow Cash points, you can get a pretty good running discount going. 5% is a really strong discount. when you're talking about other items being discounted together. So if you buy in combinations, a lot of those combinations will give you a cumulative like 10% discount across a bunch of different parts. And so there are pieces in place for you to get live discounts on the store by making certain combinations of parts together, or buying parts in kits, or just using your Crow Cash. So that's why I don't run a lot of discounts as part of like massive sales. It might be detrimental to my business model, but there are a lot of active discounts that are floating around. So do your thing, catch them, hit that stuff, have fun, buy parts, and do these things, right? Let's see here. New developments coming into the next year here. I have a bunch of stuff on the burner right now. There are currently 2 parts that are in production right now. I'm going to swap this over to a different screen really fast. We're going to look at them really quick after I get them pulled up. Just give me a second here. I'm really happy. I think I'm really happy with the camera. My face looks really, really washed out, like white, and that's because my monitors, if I pull that down, the white from the screen on Fusion 360 is so bright it washes my face out really bad. So that's what I have up on this screen right here, and that's what's killing the white balance here on this image. I guess I could change the color of the window and make it make it work, but my stupid face is just washed out here. I'm still trying to find this daggone accent ring. Darn it! There it is. I found it. That's the one. Yeah. Okay. The CoverTech accent ring. Trying to pull this up here really sec. Give me a second here. All right. What we got? Oh, that's not the one either. Okay. I'm going to swap over to the other scene. There we go. Here are your components. These are currently in production right now. This is the CoverTech accent ring and CoverTech wheel, actually. And so these parts are going to be available here in the very near future. I'm not exactly sure when. The factory is currently producing them now, and they should be wrapping up here at the end of March. I'm anticipating probably like the 23rd, 24th time frame. So just looking at the calendar here really fast, the 23rd, 24th time frame, and then we should see them in a week. That puts it like the first week of April time frame. So these are going to be the first experiment coming in the next year, and just based on the interactions that I've got from people about it, everybody's really happy about it. They think this is a super cool idea. It's got a lot of opportunity here to make it into something great. And if it gains traction, what I'll do is I'll start making different versions. So this version here has a center ring in it, and so I'll get rid of that ring and just pull it out and make it equivalent to like the 2 or the accent ring type 2. This is the 2.1, and we'll work on some different other designs to make sure that we get some shapes that match the other accent rings, so you can mix and match them and come up with your own accent ring / CoverTech ring mount solution on your next set of sabers, whatever that might be. I really like this one. I think that it looks really good. And I bumped the size up on the CoverTech here just a little bit. This section was a little bit short when I got the oh my goodness, my brain stopped working. It was a little bit short when I got the samples, and so I bumped it up and increased the size of this too, so it stands off a little bit more proud, and it gives you a little bit better CoverTech setup. Of course, this is an M4 hole, so it's one of the only M4 CoverTechs on the market. So you should have a pretty good time and a lot of modular capability with it. And even if you don't use the CoverTech mount ring, you can still use the CoverTech as its own standalone CoverTech, mounting it to any of your lightsabers that you might want to mount it to. That's 33 millimeters in diameter, by the way. So that is currently in production, and I got to go fishing. I meant to have this prepped before I got to this cast here, but I have another design. So Fusion 360, or the company that makes Fusion, they put in a new feature that forces you to select whether you're doing an individual part or an assembly part. It's kind of annoying. I wish that it wasn't so annoying, but every time you have to select it to make a new picture or put something cool together out of it. So for the holiday, and if you're not aware of what holiday it is, the May the 4th holiday is coming very quickly. It's only about a month and a half away. Well, yeah, about a month and a half away. And so what I really wanted to do was make a component that was going to be like for the May 4th holiday and be in perspective of like what was kind of the characters that were in the original trilogy, because the original trilogy was what started Star Wars. And so I wanted to capture some of that, and there's one of these parts that's a target of opportunity, but this is a design, if you've been in the Discord, you've probably seen it. This is the wind vane, and the wind vane here is kind of a universal part. It's designed to look like an Obi-Wan. I really like the Obi-Wan like wind vane component. If you're not aware of where this came from, this originated, or this part, or this style of part originated on a grenade from World War One. It was like a rifle grenade that fixed into your rifle, and you would shoot it with a special blank adapter, and it would fire that grenade downrange, and it would go blow up and do its thing. Well, this wind vane was a straightener. It was designed to straighten the airflow over the grenade and allow it to hit its mark relatively straight and impact the ground. And so that's what got turned into the Obi-Wan Kenobi thin neck, is basically the end off of that, which was the wind vane. And so I kind of took that design to heart, said that I wanted to make it for the May 4th holiday. And so what I made was it ended up being 5 components that I want to get made. They're all really affordably priced for the shape and size of it. But it's actually a really, really cool part, and I need to show you how cool it is. And I'm going to give myself a little pat on the back for the design on this, because I thought that it was really, really cool when I made it in the first place. And it's going to get really cool here in just a second. And so, like everything that is Corvus Saber Foundry, I like to make things that are modular, and I like to make things that are particularly adaptable. Things that will allow you to do many things with one part or a limited number of parts. So let me get the fifth part out here really quick, and I'll show you. Whoops, I did not just do that. All right, let me capture that one again and move it. All right, so come on, dang it. There we go. Okay, there are 5 parts here that are being used in this component, right? There's the wind vane, which you see highlighted in blue here. This wind vane is what we talked about. It is the wind vane. It's the piece that is the signature, basically. But in a lot of the different bits of Star Wars, like lore and legacy, there are a lot of thin necks that play up in the different trilogies and movies. And they have different shapes and looks to them, right? So you saw the first example of the wind vane on the Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 4 Saber, and then you see it again on the Luke Saber in Episode 6, and then we see it again afterwards in other areas on Leia's lightsaber in like Episode 7 or 8. I can't remember if it's 7 or 8. It might be 9. When Luke in the training sequence, when Luke is training Leia in the jungles, I think of Endor, and so my goal was to produce a part for honoring the original trilogies. And yes, I know that the Leia one did not show up for the first time until like the later trilogies, but it was a target of opportunity because there are so many other there's only a handful of wind vanes that exist inside of Star Wars, and so I wanted to make sure that I got all of them in one go. And so the wind vane piece is the central component on this element here. It's designed to hold all these pieces, and what these other items are basically accent rings that thread onto this central wind vane area. And so I'll go ahead and show you the Obi-Wan Kenobi first, and we'll move that into position and show you what that looks like. The Obi-Wan Kenobi actually has like a little area on the inside of it that has a stepped down space. You can see it right here. This stepped down space actually fits onto a stepped down space on this area of the wind vane too, and it gives it a much more polished look, and I'll show you what that looks like here really quick. So you can slide that right into place over top of it, and let me just make sure I got that centered in here. Yeah, it's pretty good. Actually need to shuffle it just a little bit to the side. There we go. So you can see that little step space right down here. where my mouse is pointing here. It's kind of on this space. You can see the step down area right there where it fits. And the reason I wanted that is so that that wind vane stayed kind of proud inside of that space. The other ones, the Leia has it, but the Luke does not. And I'll show you why that is really quick here. But you can see that that will fit basically down inside that space, kind of a nice nestling. And when you look down, it looks like the signature wind vane look from the Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber on both front and back. It fits. It looks really good. I'm pretty happy about it. I think this is one of the other fun parts that I get to design. I've seen a lot of different takes on the wind vane. I've seen people make it in 3 parts. I've seen people make it in a couple of parts where that outer layer won't get swapped around. If I show you the original part, I can see if I can find it somewhere. I might have a picture of the original wind vane. The outer edge of that wind vane, for maintenance purposes, you could take that wind vane like cover off of it. And so I was trying to pay homage to the original component itself to be able to take that outer piece off of it to look down, so you could clean that component off. It's basically just a really thin steel or copper band that fit around the outside of these vanes on the original component. It could be damaged really easily. I assume that it was there to have it take it off and change it or adjust it. I don't know. But I wanted to kind of capture that look as well. So this is the Obi-Wan attached to it, and what you can see down here on the bottom as well is what looks like the top of the grenade section from the Obi-Wan. So if you know the Obi-Wan emitter, or not emitter, the Obi-Wan grenade grip that I made, this component is a sister element to that grenade grip. Let me go find it really fast so I can show you what that's going to look like together. This is designed to fit with my Obi-Wan Kenobi grenade grip that I produced, I think, last year. And there it is. Whoops, I went too far. Okay. So, yep, there it is. That was designed to fit with the Obi-Wan Kenobi grenade grip that was designed last year. And you can see there that it has the same contour, the same shape. Whoops, I just did that, didn't I? Same contour, same shape. It's designed to fit almost perfectly together with it. So now you get a strong look of a thin neck, like one of your thin neck sabers. And so this will fit, of course, all the other thin necks that I've got. So the Type 1, the Type 2, the Type 3 that are already out. The wind vane will be the Type 4, and I'm working at probably supplying this all together as one kit. So you get the wind vane, you'll get each of the accent rings that go on the outside of it, and probably the lower piece here, all kind of as one component set up to go together and work, and it'll work with all your other thin neck items. Okay, so there's the Obi-Wan Kenobi ring, and we'll go ahead and pull that one off of there. We'll go jump into the Luke really quick. There's the Luke, and we'll drag that into position. So the Luke is actually kind of an interesting one because it does not sit the same way as the Obi-Wan. And I just got to look at it really quick here. My eyes are bugging out. Okay, so the Luke doesn't sit quite the same as the Obi-Wan. In fact, it fills up a little bit more of that space. And so I think the most interesting part with the Luke is that you kind of can see the pedigree of the Obi-Wan kind of hiding underneath of it, which is kind of cool. But from the side and top, you wouldn't really notice that it wasn't a Luke or related to a Luke thin neck. It's not perfect. It's not designed to be perfect. It's just designed to be close, designed to get close to the Luke. And so it won't be a perfect match either, because the Luke, I believe, has thin, like this area here is all one diameter typically, and usually this upper area is covered with like tape or some such. And so it's not a perfect match. It's not intended to be. I was just trying to get it close so that it looked kind of the part. Yeah, you can see the pedigree kind of hanging out underneath of there. You see a little bit of the other stuff. So I'll slide the Luke out of there, and we'll put the Leia in really fast. The Leia, of course, looks different than either the Luke or the Obi-Wan, but it harnesses more of the Obi-Wan than the Luke. If you remember looking at Leia's lightsaber, or you've looked at Leia's lightsaber in The sequel trilogy, you can see that it definitely has the wind vane shape underneath of it, underneath of the thin neck section, or in the thin neck section, it has that. And so I wanted to make sure that it captured the same look. It's basically the same model, or pretty close to the same model as the Obi-Wan. It's a little bit thinner in diameter, and it has a stronger angle here on this piece. You can see the change in diameter and the change in that shape. But they are both 33 millimeter. I just shuffled that like ever so slightly, so you can see this angle here. Same outer diameter. My thin neck accent rings here are the largest outside diameter is 33 millimeters. So that means that yes, you can put shrouds over top of them if you wanted to. So you can grab any one of the shrouds that I've got on the shelf and stick it over it, or any 33 millimeter shroud will slide over it just perfectly. So, like all things, designed to be useful in many ways. Which brings me to my next point. The useful in many ways thing is really, really important to me. So if you didn't know this, the accent, let's see here. The thin neck portion is, come on. Okay, all of my thin necks are designed to be flippable. So you can flip them 180 degrees from each other. And so we'll go ahead and show you that really fast, what that's going to look like. So your thin neck is 180 degrees flippable. It would fit almost perfectly into that space and give you the same look, but upside down. So it would be just a little bit different. But wait, there's more. Because of the way that it's threaded and the way that it's set up, you can also flip your thin neck accent rings around as well. So if you want a different look out of it, or you want to have an upside down accent ring, you can do that too. You just have to thread it from the other direction upwards instead of from the top down. And so that gives you, on the wind vane itself, it gives you two looks, like flipped top to bottom, and then it gives you, each of the rings gives you another two looks flipped top to bottom. So that if you're paying attention, that's 4 looks per ring and let's see here, per ring and per wind vane combination, 4 looks. So 2 for the wind vane, 2 for the ring, and the inverse is the inverse. It's really versatile. Let me flip this thing over really fast. We'll keep this in the same shape that it was in previously. We'll give it a flip again. And there's that. And there you go. That's what an upside down wind vane looks like. Bing, bang, boom. Just like that. I see a second person has joined us. And that's pretty cool. You're cool, man. Whoever you are. Thanks for coming. All right. Let me wheel this thing out of the way here really fast. Get that moved. I'll pull a Luke down. We'll pull the Luke in. If you want to see the Luke upside down, we can do that too. Slide that in here and 180 it. It'll be just a little tiny bit different because it's on the wrong side there, right? But basically, you get an upside down Luke in backwards, which is kind of cool. I think that's kind of neat. I've seen more of these show up in builds in the community through, I don't know, like a lot of these bigger builders are producing sabers with like goofy shapes in them now. They're trying to experiment and play around with that. And so I think that you'll see more of these shapes, like these upside down thin necks, which are pretty cool. I dig it. And so, bringing that to VHC is kind of a neat experience. I think I'm a little too close on that really fast here. Let me slide that back just a smidge. Yeah, there we go. Okay. There we go. Upside down Luke, and I can grab an upside down Obi-Wan too. You can do that. The only hang up with an upside down Obi-Wan is that the bottom part does not have the same indent on the bottom, so you won't get quite the same look out of the Obi-Wan. It'll be just a little bit different. I could put it in there. I could change it and put it in there really quick and relatively easily. Just add a little tiny top on it. There we go. Something to give it like a little drop down in there. Bam. Here we go. There it is. Upside down Obi-Wan. Just like you'd like. I like it. I'm really excited about this. I've been trying to get this produced for some time now, but I just keep running into to little barriers that stop me. It's mostly money, to be honest with you. It's mostly money. I feel like in the next year or so, we're gonna walk into more people. They're gonna find us, and it's gonna end up becoming pretty big, like all of it together. Corvus Saber Foundry big, with the number of parts that are being produced now. We've got this will be five brand new parts that are coming. There's 2 new parts showing up in the next couple of days. We just launched the MPPM, and then every month we're going to be producing more and more component schema kits, and those schema kits, courtesy of you, everybody who's contributing, anybody who wants to put anything out there, that offer is always on the table for somebody to contribute and add to all the cool things that we're doing. And I especially want to show and showcase what you guys are doing. So the component schema kits are coming, all of these parts. I can't not see Corvus Saber Foundry continuing to grow. It's going to continue and get bigger as we keep producing these parts. So that is the wind vane. I am going to be taking this to sample probably in the next, if things keep going really well, in the next couple of days. I'll take it to sample. So it'll be all 5 of these parts together going to sample, and then we'll pick up with the next round of parts. The next thing that I want to make is actually going to be it's going to be these curves. Let me get these out of here really quick. I've been playing around with curves lately, trying to make new parts, and some of you might have seen these show up in the dev group or the dev channel. And so I essentially tried to take the same stylings of my original extensions. So this is the female choke type 1, and you can kind of see the inspiration here on the sizing and on the shapes for this, to basically make it look like somebody bent it just a little bit and put these together to make a bent saber shape, right? So just give me 1 second here. So yeah, the bent shape, this was a lot of fun to make, and actually a lot easier than you might think. I was surprised at how simple it was. And so something that I was wrestling with while I was making this, something that I was wrestling with while I was making this was, number one, how can I make it look like something elegant, like a Dooku? And then I was like, oh, it's really hard to put cool shapes on bends, especially these bends. The bends in Fusion don't play very well. They don't like the stuff at all. They don't like putting things on them. They don't like messing around with them. I have the hardest time putting stuff on them. The closest I can get is putting like a little dot like in this central space here as part of the dominance, and then add something else up into it. So anyways, I made these parts. There's a 15 degree bend. This is the 30 bend. Let me get the 15 out here really quick, and you'll see it. And these are gentle, really easy bends to the parts. So 30 degree bend, 15 degree bend, and we of course have a 45 degree bend that will go off, this direction, basically up that way. This is a little bit gentler, and even gentler still. And one of the things that I was wrestling with, and you can kind of see it in the inside when I have this highlighted, there's a necked down portion inside of it. And the reason why I chose to do that is, number one, the milling the inside of those with a larger diameter is actually more difficult. My factory didn't tell me that, but I believe that it's a little bit more difficult because it requires a special part that will allow you to make the bend or like cut it from both sides kind of thing. And I just don't know exactly how that works. And so additionally, I was thinking about it, and it doesn't matter what part you put here, what part you try to cram into that space. Nothing that isn't wiring or a dedicated like bend, like connector, like a pin connector. Gosh, my brain stopped working. Like a PCB throughput, right? So you have a PCB on one side and a pin set on the other side, and it would pass through from one component to the next component and make basically a connector out of the entire piece. So Unless you have like one of those or you just run a pigtail through it, you're not going to be putting any components through it. So it's not really hurting it to be neck down a little bit. And another thing that caught my attention was in the current version, the current 45-degree iteration, you can put your chassis basically all the way into that curve, and it can like butt against things. It can get smashed and pinch and kind of like try and force its way into that curve, and like do damage to it or something like that. I don't know. I might be fabricating that in my mind, but I know that you can put your chassis basically like whatever blank chassis you have all the way in directly into that 45. Some people might want that, but I think my justification for this part of my design is so that if you put it on the top end of a Saber or you put it on the bottom end of a Saber, you have a nice place to put something on top of it, like an emitter. Like, say for example, you have a thin neck pigtail for your emitter end, and you would be able to put your thin neck PCB pin selection basically against the inside of this elbow to make it basically a firm seat for that emitter section. And so what I'm going to do really quick is I'll just take this, I'll keep both of these in here. Actually, I'm going to delete the 15 out of there really fast. And we're going to play just a little bit. Sorry if I'm making you guys dizzy. I want to do a quick build. We're going to do like a let's build. Everything tonight is going to be inside of Fusion. And so that way I'm not over here off camera building stuff and doing all these things. And you guys get to look at my pretty face anyway. So we're going to make it really simple, really easy. Just grab a couple body segments out of here. Let me grab a type 5. Oh my, that's a big one. Let's grab a Suiache. And this kind of gives us an opportunity to explore some of like the fun, like different ways these pieces go together. So let me grab an adapter out of here. I don't know what I want to get. Got a bunch of complex adapters in here. Let me do the, we'll grab a male type 2. Pull that guy out of here. Yeah, I don't think that's the one that I want yet. I'll drag that over here. I might put that someplace else. Let's grab a simple. Going with some simple stuff. Let's do the 2.25 times 30. We got 2 of these out here. Little 30-degree Johnnies there. Makes that interesting to pull that into place because I don't do that very often. Oh, geez. I really like these pieces. I think that they're stinking cool looking. Let's pull this Type 5 over here. Get that into position. Kind of looks like a pipe. Looks like a pipe bend. Let's move this in here. I might have to do some massaging to figure this out to make this part work the way that I want it to work. I'm not 100% sold on this bend just yet. I think that it looks cool. I think that it's going to be fun to play with. But it's not. It might not be fully there yet, and that's okay. You know, we're not ashamed to say that a lot of these things that you guys see here are work in progresses. They're just ideas. You know, they're just things that get played around with, and we kind of mess around just to see what it's going to look like and shape up to be. Let's turn that 30. Oh man, I hit that right on the head. Bam. So this is going to be a single bend character here. Make that super simple here. Rotate that. Okay. It's off just a little tiny bit, but And I'm going to make this relatively simple. I'm just going to go grab a normal VHC emitter. This is one that I actually like, the Bishop. This is one of my favorites. I think this is a cool one. Drop it in here. This one lends itself really well to a bent lightsaber, in my opinion. I think it's got a good shape to it. So just kind of slapping these pieces together to see what comes out of it. And there you go. We got something fun, something easy, relatively simple for a bend. And I'll see if I can't put this other bend out here really quick. Just to, where did I put it? There's so many different options now when it comes to building these things. I'll pull a 15 out here. Yeah, you know, this is actually one of the first shapes for a bent saber that I built when I did my dueler. And I have one that is basically, it's not a perfect Dooku. In fact, it's not even really a Dooku. It's a single bend, and it looks almost exactly like this, but with a 45 instead. And it is one of my favorite lightsabers because it's really comfortable to wield. 1 second here. There's a 15, and of course it's going to be funny like that. I'm just going to put this here. You can kind of get an idea what it's going to look like while we're playing around with it here. So you might not always have this 15 or the 30, you know, in these positions. You might opt to play them just a little bit differently. We can shuffle this to the other end as well and see what that looks like too. Let's drag this over here. You might want like a double, you know, or something. Some sort of double. I don't know. There we go. Bam. Okay. That's pretty good. Normally what I would do is, let's do this. Let's grab this guy. Let's get this switch out of here. Now we're really playing around with my spatial capabilities and how my brain works in here. Like, which way is this supposed to fit? So that's just a little bit on the long side. You can see that, right? It's kind of goofy looking, but not terrible. It could be worse. Let me slim this thing down a little bit. Let's take this bishop out of here and grab something that I want instead. Let's do an alloy emitter. Let's do an extension or a body component. Let's just slap this on here really quick. Ooh, that's spicy. It's already spicy and I ain't even touched it. I put that too far. How did I do that? Oh man, that's funny. We're just gonna get it close. We're not gonna beat ourselves up if we don't land it on the right spot, right? This is gonna put the switch on the front edge of this, which I'm not super excited about it. It could be better. It could be in a better spot, but it kind of is what it is. And I think that this probably wouldn't work very well, but it would be short. It would be short in that emitter tip section. So we're going to pull this tip over this way. We're actually going to do a little fiddling here. Just a second. Let me fetch another part. I'm looking for, I'm going to put something that you guys haven't seen in here yet, which is this short choke. This is the part that's currently in development. It's been sitting in dev for a little bit now, and I like it because it's not quite close is that? There we go. It's not quite the same shape as the original choke that we built, but it is almost the right size. It's actually, I would say, better than the original choke. And that makes me kind of mad because I liked the original choke a lot, but I like this one better. I think that this one looks really good. So there you go. There's a nice looking shape. Let me grab a pommel out. Let me fetch my pommels. Fetch my pommels. Need somebody to prepare the pommels for me and have them ready to drop in. Let's just put on... Let's drop on a type 3. And let's call both ends of that together. Let's do that. Bam! Alright, there's that. We're getting late, I think, in the cast. We're almost to the end of this thing. Holy shit. Holy crap! We're almost there, dude. I've been talking for an hour and it doesn't even seem like it. Alright, that's pretty close to what I would call a rough Dooku with a double bend. This could be shorter, right? I could take this center section out and put a type 4 in here. Let me grab a type 4 really fast and show you what that would look like. Yeah, dude, the freaking Kestrel, or oh my god, hold on a second. I'll do that in just a second. Let me grab this body segment. Let me put a 4 on here, and I'll show you what that's going to look like. And I'll show you the next thing. So tonight you're kind of looking at 3 things. Number 1 is this piece, right? Like this set of bends, which is really cool. And then there's also each of these components. So this actually might be kind of squishy. It might not be long enough. And so we have to be a little careful on how this fits together. But I've never been one to be super concerned about what way this is going to go, right? Like, if you really want something like this, you probably need to get a custom, you probably need to just get a custom lightsaber build. Dang it, unground it, please. Good Lord. That new feature that it's a feature, not a bug, is what it is. You know, it's a thing that they put in. It's super obnoxious. I hate it. I wish they didn't do that. All right, slide that. Damn it. Which one is that? That guy? All right, that guy, that guy, that guy, and that guy. Good Lord. All right, slide that as an assembly together. Boom. Nice. Now we've got it. Now we've got it figured out. Okay. It fits. It would fit. I think that you might be able to get those pieces together, and if you can't, you can always add adapters on the end of it to make it long enough to fit the stinking to fit the internals, the electronics on it the way that you might want it to fit. Okay. So let me grab one more thing, and we'll play around with what this looks like with a shroud on it. So we'll get the shrouds that are in production. I could put a Kestis on it. I could put anything on this thing and it would look good. Yes, yes it would. I wish there were more people on that got to see this, to witness this greatness that's coming out of here. So that would be pretty tight, dude. That would be a tight build right there. You could put like a 7/8 blade on that thing, or something. It would look really fancy. Look really good. I think I got that too low. Yeah, that Kestrel's a little too low. All right, there it is. Bam, that's the one. Looks good. I think that looks awesome, man. I am really excited about this now. Unfortunately, the downfall right now is that manufacturing these bends are stupid expensive, right? Stupid expensive. It's going to cost a lot of money because bends suck. And I understand. I think I understand now why people aren't doing them. And why there hasn't been like an interest in bringing them along in that fashion, It's just that people are you know, afraid to spend money on it. Shoot, I'm afraid to spend money on it. Like, it's a gamble. You never know what that's going to be like. This looks really nice. Putting the old Corax on it, that would be real slick. No lies. I think that looks good. Yeah, that's a good one. It used to be called the Scallop, but it's now the Corax, if you guys didn't know that. Because the cut on it was a scallop shape. This is going to trick my brain. Holy crap. I'm not prepared for this tonight. Not to do math, not any of that stuff. I kind of like this on the underside. That feels really nice too. That's a good shape, good feel. Yeah, that's pretty good. Hard to beat that too. All right, what if I did, hang on a minute. I'm still in the cast. We still got time. Let me add something else here. So you guys have seen these already. I've already been working on them. These are the accent sleeves. And so these are something that I want to release later this year. I've been sitting on them for so long. I wanted to release them at the beginning of the year, and then other things came up, and then they just keep getting pushed down the line. And it's really sad that they keep getting moved like that, simply because I like them. I think that they're really nice. Whoops, didn't want to put that out there. That's the straight knurl. Why is that marked as diamond knurl? Uh-oh, I caught it. I caught an error, dude. I was revising my knurlings last week, and I think I broke my sleeves. So here's this. This is actually designed to fit that. Oh my god, dude. It looks so good. Okay. This one was actually designed to fit the Type 4 sleeve, or not sleeve, but the Type 4 body segment. So now you have a knurled sleeve that will fit on what essentially amounts to like a Dooku style build, which is kind of cool. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Oh, shoot. Doggone it. Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it could be more complex, but it looks pretty good. Like I'm happy with that. I think that's cool. So anyways, the problem that I've got is that those particular parts are expensive. The bends are expensive. They're almost 2 times or 3 times more expensive than I thought that they were going to be. And that's frustrating because we were on like a roll of really good parts that weren't super expensive. And I think that I could justify them, right? They'll be more expensive. They would be more expensive than the current bend. Let me put it that way. And that makes me upset and sad. I don't want to have a part that is that much more expensive than what's currently on the market. Even though it's not being offered anywhere, it still should be kind of in alignment with that. And so my thought process on this was, and if you're a competitor watching this, there's only one person, but if you're a competitor watching this, don't steal this from me, is I think that I'm going to start 3D printing some of these parts. And I've already got plans to do it. I've already talked about it. The mechanical adapter sets, and if you guys haven't seen those, they're really cool. I think that they're neat. I think that they would go a long way towards making some really cool stuff. So here's one of them. This is the Falcon nozzle set that I built. This was last year, I think in the early summertime I built that. So this was like a really fun like thought experiment to build a part that looked like the Falcon nozzle. And it ended up being like a crap ton of money to try and get it manufactured, like 5 or 6 times more expensive than any other part that I've made to date. And so I went back to the drawing board on that idea and kind of packed it away, and I'm revisiting it now this year, and I really would like to pull this together and make this happen this year for this set of parts specifically. So the angle piece is one element that I'm thinking about 3D printing, and the reason why is if you are machining something that's on an angle, it's really hard to machine that angle. Even with any kind of machine, whatever items that you're using, it's really hard to machine that angle. Now, the thought process here would be to 3D 3D print those angles so that it's clean and you don't have any lines. It looks really nice and minty. But also, if you look at the Count Dooku lightsaber, if you look at his 45 on the bottom of his saber, it has kind of a pig metal finish to it. And when you sintered laser solder or like 3D print these with lasers, you end up with that same kind of pig metal finish on them. And I think that would go a really long way to looking the part of an angled component in Star Wars, at least inside of alloy as it looks. So really excited to get to that. Again, it's on my radar. It's something that I want to get to, and I have these angle components set up for the next part, the next item that I want to make. So I'm hoping to have those ready June timeframe. I'm shooting for June, and then immediately after that will be the accent sleeves that you see right here. There'll be more designs, or my intention is to have more designs. There'll be at least 2 in the beginnings, which will be a basic sleeve and then an knurled sleeve, and then we'll start adding more sleeve types as we go. But you can see that this build is every bit of like 15 parts. Maybe more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's like 13 parts. So plenty more to go. Plenty more stuff to build. There's lots of things still left to make. So if you like what I'm doing, you like what's being produced, stay tuned to Corvus Saber Foundry. There's lots more stuff in the works for you to make new lightsaber components out, or new lightsaber items, or new lightsabers out of modular system. If you like modular lightsabers, come check out Corvus Saber Foundry. If you stayed this long and you like watching this, obviously I know I got my hooks into you, and you want to see what's coming next. So that's a good thing. I think that's about it. I don't have a whole lot left to talk about. I think my phone is popping off. People are hitting me up, trying to figure out what is going on. Yep. All right. It is time. I'm going to sign off. My name was Tim. This was the Corvus Cast. It was nice to see you. Thank you for your support. Again, I'm going to plug the Discord. If you have Discord or you're active on Discord and you want to come talk about lightsabers, come to Corvus Saber Foundry Roost. Join us in the dev channel. Join us in the murder. Talk about lightsaber stuff and have fun, right? We talk about a lot of things. We play video games. We do all that stuff. A very active community full of people that are interested in lightsaber builds and doing those things. You find out firsthand of all the cool stuff that we're building here in Corvus Saber Foundry. So hit me up. Find me. We're here for that. It's time for me to say goodbye. I'm out. Get the heck out of here. Don't stick around. Bye. Peace. I'm out, guys. Ha ha ha.